In the summer of 2008, my sister Heather and I continued our quest to sail BC's coast in our plywood dinghies. This year, we sailed from Nanaimo to Victoria. Not exactly a wilderness adventure like we'd had in previous years, but a welcome break from the hectic pace of our lives nevertheless. We enjoyed 5 sunny days and 5 fantastically moonlit nights in BC's Gulf Islands. As we made our way south, Veda Hilly's new song, Luck Lucky, kept playing in my head, because as I looked around, felt the wind in my sails, and enjoyed the company of my sister, all I could think of was how lucky I am.
Lucky luck, lucky 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 luck, lucky luck, lucky 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 luck, lucky lucky luck, lucky 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 luck, lucky lucky luck, lucky 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 luck, lucky lucky luck, lucky 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 luck, lucky lucky luck. There's the place you know. Lucky lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck. There's the place you don't know. Curtain number one, curtain number one. You are blind, blind, blind. Lucky luck, lucky luck, luck, luck. There is where I did this is where I did that. It took 30 years to draw this map. And now what do you see? You are blind, blind, blind. The city.
Pirates Cove on DeCourcy Island was the perfect place to detox from the adrenaline of the day and enjoy a great meal of burned-on-the-bottom pizza. The marine parks in the Gulf Islands are well equipped and well kept, but there was no way we were going to hump our gear 800 meters into the woods. We practiced no-trace camping and were sure to leave no footprint behind. An early morning breeze gave us hope for another fun day on the water, and we spent the morning poking around Pirates Cove, waiting for the wind to fill. As the morning wore on, it was clear that there would be no wind today.
Just spent a couple of hours rowing, and so I'm happy to see whatever little breeze there is. There isn't a lot of breeze, but I believe it's filling in. Too nice a day for there not to be any wind.
With no wind to speak of, and the sun baking what few brain cells we had left, we stopped at Blackberry Point on Valdez Island, just a few miles from DeCourcy. I anchored the boats while Heather set up a sleeping tarp under the biggest arbutus tree we've ever seen. With dinner and the chores taken care of, we basked in our surroundings.
Lucky luck, lucky 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 luck, lucky luck, lucky 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 luck, lucky 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 lucky luck. There's the place you know. Lucky lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky 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 luck.
Well, any of you who know me are not going to believe this, but it's 7 o'clock in the morning. We woke up at 6, slept under a tarp so we didn't have a tent to take down. Anyway, this is the sunrise. It's a good one. Plus we've got some wind.
And just as our experience proves, the more we think we've got the wind, the less we actually have it. Now, I'm going to try to show a seat. That's Heather, and she's reading a book. That's how low the wind is. Oh no, she's fixing her hair.
We're in Trinket Valley Channel. It's still the same day, and even though it's only noon, we've been on the water for 5 hours. You can see over there, there's like a stripe of no wind. That's where we were. I saw this wind over here, and I started paddling like heck over here. Anyway.
You need the air, you need the freedom, you need to pinch yourself against the hardship of the
After more than 7 hours on the water, we were happy to find Richardson's Cove. We weren't so happy to find that we weren't allowed to camp there, but pitching a tent was the only real choice we had. Richardson's Cove is on Prevost Island, half of which is a national park. Clearly, they are trying to preserve this jewel, and again, we left no trace behind.
Crossing, what are we crossing? Something passage between Salt Spring and Provost Island. In the distance there you can see the ferry, and that is Moresby Island behind it. Fantastic day. That island is North Pender. You can see South Pender beyond it. The island that we're heading to is right in front of us. It's called Portland Island. It seems awfully close though, I don't understand.
There's the place you know.
Princess Margaret Park is another jewel in the crown that is the Gulf Islands National Park System. The camping fee used to be $5, but it was dramatically reduced to reflect the drop in the GST. This place is so beautiful and well kept that I'd spend $50 a night to stay here. We got here early enough in the day to stretch our legs and explore this serene little park. And on returning to camp, it wasn't long before we were reminded that we are merely visitors here.
There's the place you know. There's the place you don't know. Curtain number one, curtain number one. You are blind, blind, blind. Lucky look, lucky look. There is where I did this.
Well, this is our last day on the water. We're heading from Portland Island across, what is this passage? Satellite Channel? There is the layer of the ferries in the distance. We're hoping they won't wake up as we pass. We waited for the wind to come up at noon on Portland, and in this very channel we saw 4 ferries all at once. Very active in here. Anyway, we've got a nice breeze now, which is good. That's Salt Spring over there. Fulford Harbor to the right with a big mountain marking it. And right in front of us is some little town, which I can't figure out what it is. It must be the mainland.
We managed to dodge the ferries, and a couple hours later we glided into Deep Cove, just around the corner from Schwartz Bay. As is often the case at the end of our cruises, I was both happy that we had accomplished our goal and sad that our trip was over. That brings us to the end of another chapter in the adventures of Heather and Carolyn. 2 very lucky women.
Lucky luck, lucky 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 luck, lucky luck, lucky 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 luck, lucky 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 lucky luck. There's the place you know. Lucky lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck. There's the place you don't know.